There's an article in Concrete today about the appointment of 3 Hindu chaplains at UEA, and at the end of the article, Marian Hozart, the Catholic chaplain, is quoted as saying, "We have been approached by the UEA Hindu We've been approached by the UEA Student Union's Hindu Society President, Pavitra Chotai, and we'll be having a meeting with her later this week to see what we can offer in terms of time and space for worship and possibly storage space for a few items, but always within our constraints." So I'm just wondering exactly what those constraints are. You just look. I'm going to look over there and show you the size of the chaplaincy. That's a pretty massive building. I'm going to see if I can get a closer look. So this is just one of the rooms. You can see that's pretty massive. Going around the outside. There's an office. The next clip, with regards to possibility of storage space for a few items but always within our constraints, shows a piano. I've never seen a piano in a Buddhist monastery or Buddhist temple or within a Hindu temple, but there is space for a piano in the chaplaincy, so I wonder whether there's how much space there is for Hindu stuff. We shall see. So speaking of storage space for a few items but always within our constraints, the next clip just shows that within those constraints there are a few offices, a quiet room, and a large social area, and basically that's what that is. Okay, so now there's going to be a quick word from the former president of the Buddhist Society. Unfortunately, the Buddhist Society doesn't exist anymore at UEA because not enough people joined to make it a formal students' union society, but he's just going to say a few words about his experience of the chaplaincy. Okay?
Hi, I was the President of the Buddhist Society last year, and I'd like to share a few of my experiences with the chaplaincy. I think the chaplaincy is a really good resource for UEA to have, and it's a large building as well, which is good, but I think at the moment it's not being used so it caters for all faiths at UEA, and it puts off some people from attending, and I think this is because it's monopolised by Christian faiths. The building is structured like a Christian church. There's a cross on the ceiling, and the seats are arranged in pews. And as Buddhists in the Buddhist Society, we don't really tend to sit like that. We would tend to sit on the floor on meditation cushions, maybe around a shrine with a Buddha on it. And this is definitely really not the case in the chaplaincy. It's not possible in the chaplaincy. In the Buddhist Society, we had to change the position of the seats and reorganise the room completely, and then change it back at the end. we had to bring in our cushions from the Student Union building, which was quite a walk away, and they were heavy cushions. And we did ask if the cushions could be stored in the chaplaincy, and we were refused several times. And the only storage space in there that we had was a small cupboard, which was just large enough to store a small Buddha statue. And I think it would be easy for the chaplaincy to provide just a cupboard for the cushions. At the moment, because there's no officially recognised Buddhist society, we've actually lost access to those cushions. So it's been a real blow to the Buddhist society. And I think that the setup of the chaplaincy in this kind of Christian setup would actually put off many Buddhist students from attending the meditation sessions, and I think it's really damaging towards people at UEA who would want to practice their faith.
Right, so basically to do with the issue of space for worship and the possibility of storage space for a few items, but always within our constraints, talking about what those constraints might be again. We don't have, as we don't have, we haven't had a priest in Norwich. We've been doing daily like puja and arti at home, and when we teach yoga once a week. And when we teach yoga once a week, we do puja and arti at yoga using a table this big. And we actually put it over there. We're actually Vaishnavas, but if we just told people to sit down and chant Hare Krishna, we probably wouldn't get a great attendance. And not everybody's a Vaishnava. But Ganesh is a very popular demigod, respected by most Hindus, so we've been doing Ganesh Puja, and the next clip I'll show you we'll show what we do with this table, what we can do with just one table. Now I'm not prejudging what limited, space for worship and limited or the possibility of storage space for a few items within constraints actually means. It might well mean something the size of this table to make a shrine in. I don't know. So I'm just going to wait and see what the chaplaincy offers to the Hindu society. So the next clip I'm going to show will be what we do when we're doing a puja. It's a lay puja because we're not priests. But the next clip will show what we do, like briefly what we do, what we can do with that table if it's offered to us, something that size is offered to us for making a shrine. Okay, so far I've very briefly shown you the parts of the chaplaincy that I could show you, and shown you the size of the table that we use when we do puja after yoga and arti, after teaching yoga once a week. Now I'm obviously biased, so it's really up to you to compare the size of those two things, compare the size of the chaplaincy and the space in the chaplaincy and the size of that table. Do you think it's a reasonable request for a space the size of that table to be set aside for Hindu students to set up a shrine? I don't know, I could be being completely unreasonable, thinking that that would be reasonable request. Now, if we did have a space that size, and if we did set up a shrine, we could be doing arti or puja 5 days a week when a chaplaincy is open, instead of just 1 day a week when we're teaching yoga. Now, whatever is on offer, it needs to be attractive to Hindu students. If it's less attractive than what they can do at home, if it's less attractive than the prayer facilities that they have at home, what reason will they have for attending a prayer facility in the chaplaincy or in the university? Now, one of the benefits of like associating with other people of the same religion is the social benefit, and from that social benefit comes like a sense of belonging, and that can have mental health benefits. I'm sure any sociologist will tell you that, and any psychoneuroimmunologist will tell you that mental health benefits bring physical health benefits. So there are advantages of being able to have group prayer with other people of the same religion over just praying at home. But as I said, whatever is available for group prayer, in order to attract the Hindu students to get together, will have to be at least as good as what they can do at home, if not better. For example, when I go to their temples, when I'm in London, the reason I go is because the experience is far superior to my home prayer. Otherwise, I wouldn't really need to go. So I'm now going to show you like the modest shrine that I have in my very small bedroom, and see what you think of that. Now, if the university cannot offer Hindu students a shrine this size, now to give you a perspective on it, I'll just put my hand there so you can see the size of it. It's very small. Compare that to the size of the chaplaincy. To me, I am biased, but to me that is a very, very small shrine, and I don't see why that should be a big inconvenience to the chaplaincy. Now, if the prayer facilities for Hindu students on campus are not better than these prayer facilities in my own room, what reason do I have for attending a prayer facility in the university? So that basically concludes my little presentation, I suppose. And as I said, I'm biased, and I could be being completely unreasonable in my requests. I certainly have no expectations. I'm not expecting any success. I would be happy with success, and I'm not prejudging either. I'm not expecting failure. I'm not expecting the university to be unreasonable. I have no idea what the university is going to allow, but I thought I'd just share my thoughts with you on the issue before negotiations take place, because these are things that I think need to be considered in negotiation. Thank you very much for watching.